y'all. Okay, so my name is Maggie, or Margarita Solis, and I am Joey Solis's daughter, the youngest daughter. My older sister is Melanie Solis, and she's in Seattle for context. And yeah, so I kind of wanted to give like an update on where I am. I feel like I've always gone to like the Super Bowl parties, but I feel like I've never had time to talk like one-on-one with everybody about kind of what I've been up to. And yeah, so this is a chance to kind of get to know me more, what I'm up to, and future things as well. So as of right now, I am a senior at UTSA and I'm studying public health. I have a minor in translation and interpretation studies and biology. I'm currently on the pre-med track, so I'm interested in going to medical school after I do a gap year and different things like that. So yeah, but before I get into my future interests and other things like that, on Saturday I'll be going to Washington DC for a semester, and I will be doing that through the Archer Fellowship, which is a fellowship for UT students with the UT system program, and they choose a couple students from every university like UT, UTD, UTSA, and other schools in the UT system to study policy in Washington, D.C. So I'll be taking 12 hours of classes with different professors after my internship. And then while I'm taking those classes, I'm also going to be working full-time as an intern at a lobbying firm. So every fellow that goes in chooses and applies for their own internship. So some people are on Capitol Hill, some people are at think tanks or other things like that. But I went with a lobbying firm, and I'll be a health policy fellow. So I'll be working with health policy, and yeah, I'm really excited for that. I'll be starting to work in like a week and a half. So that's really, really exciting. Everyone in that program has different interests and backgrounds and experiences. Some people are more like political science or pre-law. I'm pre-med, but there's some people who are also, I know of like music majors or art majors, humanities. So everyone has their own interests, but ultimately like in health policy, and I think that's really interesting. And yeah, I feel very fortunate. UTSA is going to give me a full ride, so you know, they're the only university that does that. I'm going to be going with 5 other UTSA students, and yeah, it's a huge honor to be picked for this program, and yeah, I'm very happy. So health policy, and then other things that I've done kind of like throughout the years has been this past summer. I was in New York through an NYU program. So I was interning at Bellevue Hospital, which is like it's the oldest public hospital in the US. So there's a lot of history there. It's really fascinating. They pioneered a lot of really great things. I got to hear from a lot of really amazing like physicians who worked during COVID and heard their stories. It was really great. And there I was in the emergency department, so I was like a patient advocate. And I would be there with the nurses, the physicians, the residents, and I would be able to, speak with the patients, be there with them. I got to use my Spanish a lot, which was really amazing because I was one of the few people that spoke Spanish. And I heard a lot of really amazing stories. Because it is a safety net hospital, a lot of the people there may be uninsured. A lot of them were what they call like frequent flyers. So they were unhoused, and I learned a lot of really amazing, I met a lot of amazing people, I heard a lot of amazing stories, and it was a very rewarding summer. So while I was doing that, I was also doing research at the hospital right next to it, and that was the NYU Tisch Hospital. So there I was also in the emergency department in that hospital, and I was screening patients for social determinants of health. So that's food insecurity, if they have stable housing, other things like that. And I also got to meet a lot of really amazing patients and hear their stories, hear about how they're being displaced from where they're currently living because of rising cost of living, and just met a lot of really amazing people. So that was really amazing. So I got to present that at the end of the summer to the physicians there, hospital leadership. That was really neat. And yeah, then throughout the week we would come together, do reflections, hear from doctors from around New York. That was really amazing. But what was also really great about that summer was it's a very competitive program. So I was among a lot of people from like Ivy Leagues. That was very interesting too. People from all around the nation. And it was really great to meet all these people who are around my age and also doing really amazing things and really passionate about public health and, the future of medicine. Everyone there was pre-med, so that was really cool. I had a roommate. I was at one of the NYU dorms. I had a roommate. Her name was Charlotte. She was from Harvard. Another girl from NYU. Her name was Rogine. She's from Canada. And another girl went to UVA named Bobia. So I met so many great people, met a lot of really amazing friendships, and we're all planning to get together when I'm in DC, so very rewarding. And then the past couple years, I've been able to study abroad in Spain and in Costa Rica, do things like that. I also do research. It's something that I really, really love. I'm working on publishing one of my research articles this year, which is very, very exciting. My research work focuses on health misinformation with the Latino community. I am very passionate about public health, very interested in medicine, and I think a lot of my experiences here in San Antonio and volunteering at Corazon Clinic, which is downtown, working with a lot of nonprofits, doing more like grassroots stuff has really pushed me to continue my work in public health and look at health disparities, and especially in the Latino community, since the rates of a lot of chronic illnesses are very prevalent. That's definitely something I want to focus on, as interested as I am in clinical medicine. So I think that's a good segue into my future and things that I want to do. I want to I'm planning on going to medical school, but doing a dual degree, so doing my MD and my master's in public health. And I'm interested in infectious diseases. There are many different specialties I could go in, but that's something that is definitely on my radar. I'd like to continue doing research, maybe be a professor at a medical school way down the line. But I definitely want to continue more grassroots work. I don't want to just be in my office and clock in, clock out. I'd love to do a lot of community work, stay connected with leadership around the city for public health initiatives, but also stay involved with the health policy side, whether on a local level or a federal level. There's a lot of potential for growth, and especially in public health, it's always evolving. So it's a lot of my interests. And then I guess more just like hobbies and other things like that outside of like academics and career. I love thrifting. I love like vintage stuff. That's always been super neat. When I was really young, I would always love to like sew things, and I would always like have like matching headbands and things like that. So that's definitely something that I still like carry. I love vintage clothes. I love collecting it. It's super neat. What's another thing? I've also been into like drawing and painting recently. I've had some downtime this winter break, and it's nothing that I've really done a lot in the past couple years, but I'm definitely honing in on that like more artistic side, like painting, drawing. What else? I like to bake. It's not something I do often, but I do enjoy it. It's very, very fun. Like going on Pinterest and seeing different recipes. I love reading nonfiction as well. I love memoirs. I love memoirs. And I do love fiction, but it has to be like a thriller or a suspense. I love watching shows. I love media. I love watching shows. I love reality TV. I'm really interested in like psychology, sociology, so I feel like that's where that interest comes from. But that's kind of some backgrounds in terms of hobbies and also what I'm currently doing and will in the future.
So Maggie, this is the first video in what I call the New Generation series. Can you tell us about Dr. Stephen Solis, your cousin, mentoring you many years ago? This was almost, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And the whole point of this question is, I think it's beautiful how cousins at your generation have been mentoring each other, or at least that was one case, and how you can maybe mentor other family members that may need to talk to someone like you. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's really neat. I was really young when that happened. I don't remember it fully, but I actually do remember us meeting at Chick-fil-A. Like, I remember that. I don't remember everything that was said. I'm sure it all resonated with me, and I still carry that piece of advice. But yeah, it's definitely something in my memory. But I think it's definitely something very important, and that's another thing that I forgot to mention, which is something that's really important to me, which is mentorship and speaking to even students at UTSA. I've done like study abroad panels, and I've mentored an undergrad in a research project that I've been leading, and kind of helping her through that, helping another person who wanted to study abroad, and sent her all of my materials, walked her through everything, just in finding scholarships. I think that mentorship's incredibly important, especially at UTSA where everyone's like first gen, but especially like intergenerationally. That's something very beautiful. I think that sharing those stories and those experiences makes big dreams feel more feasible, especially if you don't have a lot of people around you who have walked in the same path. So I'm completely open to talking to anyone. If anyone has anyone in mind, they're like, oh, maybe they're going into UTSA, or maybe they're interested in so and so, I'm always open to having those conversations and meeting people. So yes.
Outstanding. One final question. About 3 years ago, I found one of your grandfather's textbooks from Texas A&M. It was an engineering book, and I remember giving it to your grandfather, and I said, listen, it's May right now, but for December, I would think it'd be great if you could inscribe this book and give it to Maggie for her birthday. I've never asked you, what did he write in that book?
I actually read it yesterday, but I can't say verbatim what it was, but it was funny because I think it was one of his engineering books, and he was like, oh, this was one of my old textbooks or books from when I was in A&M. I really loved math, and I hope you do too. I don't like math. Sorry about that. But he was like, oh, I'm so proud of what you do. Like, love that.
All right, Maggie, well, good luck in D.C., and we shall be in contact. Thanks for the update, and maybe you can make a video for us in Washington, D.C. that we can upload.
Yes, for sure. I'll be doing a house tour, my apartment, and other things like that. It's actually a goal, so hold me accountable for that, because, yes, I want to do more video databases.
So for the record, you don't have a Facebook account, but you have an Instagram account. Can you give the family your Instagram hashtag or landing page ID?
Yes. So yeah, I don't have a Facebook, sorry. I'm already very addicted to TikTok and other social medias, so I don't need another vice. But I do have Instagram, and I am active on that, and my @ is Maggie E Solis, so MaggieESolis.
All right, Maggie, thanks for the family update.